Real Barber Tutorial 101. I'm cutting up some arrowroot and I decided to drop some jewels on barbarism. Go figure, right? But something just came to my head because a barber said this to me in my shop right now, and I felt like I had to address it. You know, they're always coming around my station, you know, looking at my tools and stuff like that and saying, damn, these tools are nice. And one of them said, if I had these tools, I would boom, 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 boom. But in the back of my head, I'm like, what do you mean if you had those tools? Like if that would make your game much better. Yeah, it'll enhance your game somewhat based on, I don't even know how your tools work, so I can't even say that. So what I'm saying is it'll enhance your game, maybe the cordless part of it and whatever, but it's not gonna make you a better barber. A barber is inside, not the tools. I used to think that the tools were great and was good, but you have to adjust to the tools as the barber. And no matter what, your eye and hand coordination have to be intact before you use any tools and perfect your game, because you know where you're going with the haircut and you know what it's going to look like at the end. No tools could do that for you. You know, I remember when I first started cutting hair, and the owner of the first shop where I was working at, he had these sharp clippers, and I always used to say to myself, damn, if I had those same clippers, I would kill. But then when I sharpened my clippers and then I used them on somebody, I cut them up, because I didn't understand that it's not just putting the clipper on somebody and just lining them up. It's a science behind it. You have to know the clipper, you have to know the person's skin, you have to know the heaviness of the clipper, you have to know how your hands move. It's all kinds of things, you know. And when I started figuring that out and learning my clippers, and then the clipper got a little duller and I started lining up with it, it became better. But I didn't understand until I got experience. So he could take my tools and it could be cutting, the gauge might be adjusted different, the clipper might be too sharp for him and his customers because he understands his customers' skin, and the clippers that I got might not work for his customers based on his understanding. Now if I used it on his customers, I would understand it more and know how to use it, and my clippers are adjusted and gauged towards my way of cutting. You understand? I have a soft touch, so I can use sharper clippers. His touch is a little bit more rougher. So you got to understand these things. It's a science. It's not just I'm going to get nice tools and I'm going to cut. Because I used to have the Master. The Master is one of the best clippers, best cutting clippers in history. But I couldn't use it. It was damaging my hands. It make my hands feel like I have the clipper all. When I leave the shop, it felt like I still had the Master in my hands. And that wasn't good for me in the long. I started feeling like I was developing like a carpal tunnel after a while, which was scaring me. So I had to stop using the Master, and I started using the cordless clippers, and my hands wasn't hurting no more. And I was like, God damn, see, all this time. And even with the detail, I have a detailer on my arm. When I started using that, I realized that was the clipper for me and the Hero, because no advertise, just advertise something, but that was the clippers for me because they're small and they're light and they're easy to maneuver. And then when we started cutting the other clipper, the gray one, the Andes joint, that made it a little better, but it still was, you know, it got a cord on it. So if it has a cord on it, it has to be really light, because I see people using even the fast feeds. I can't use the fast feed because when I hold it too long, it make my hands hurt. So everybody is different. You can't say if you had my tools, you would put in work. No, you're not me. You know, and when a barber say that to you, they're kind of subliminally throwing shade on your game or subliminally hating on you in a way, because they putting all the credit in your tools, or a lot of the credit in your tools. Like, you know, all right, maybe my tools will impress people down here, and they say, damn, this dude is different. He got different equipment, better equipment. But you guys could buy the same equipment. Y'all just don't want to, because y'all are used to the stuff y'all used to using. You get it? You could get my cordless clippers and feel like, damn, this shit is too light for my hands. I'm not using this. and then you jump back on a busy day. You pick up the cordless and it don't feel right, and then you just gonna jump into your regular clipper and just continue to use it unless you want to change. Some barbers are adapt faster than other barbers. So it's barbers, it's not your tools, it's you. A great the cutlery guy Amar, he said that to me, it's not the tools, it's the barber. Yeah, the tools help the barber, but the barber have to understand the tools, and he has to perform. And I was one of the dudes I was saying, no, it's the tools too. But then I started thinking about it. You fool, how is do the tools cut them? Do the tools cut? Are the tools gonna get up and cut the hair for you? No, you have to do it. You know, so that's about it. Let me go finish my arrow roots. Real barbarism from the Real Barber. Real Barber Tutorial. Subscribe. When you're looking up Real Barber Tutorial, put Real Barber Tutorial by Paparazzi Barber, and all the Real Barber tutorials will come up. And if you're looking for the chair, you put the chair by Paparazzi Barber. Okay. Stay tuned for the next one.